Good morning, LinkedIn fraternity, my friends, peers, colleagues, and last but not least, my students. Today, 5th of March, we all know that we pay tribute to the sufferer of dissociative identity disorder, or this 5th of March can be renamed as Dissociative Identity Disorder Awareness Day. Now, this day actually is meant for those people, those who are horrendously suffering from a typical psychological disorder, which is to be referred as dissociative identity disorder. Now, before inception of my video, generally I give you the introductory session. Now, some of my subscribers, they have asked me that why you start with the introduction. Now, whenever I enter the class or whenever I teach any topic, because I help from education sector, I give you the introduction, because introduction helps you to understand the total concept. At the same point of time, introduction makes the picture as clear when it comes to any topic. Fine. Last but not the least, introduction gives you the holistic purview of a particular content. That's why I always go for the introductory session, then I dive into my exact content. Okay, so let us talk about the introductory session. That I just want to ask you people, why we are living in a concrete jungle and why the animals are living in a crude jungle. Let me tell you, we are living in a concrete jungle because we are having a sense of perception. We can define our problem. We are social. We can analyze our problem. We can identify our problem. At the same point of time, we are having a cognitive appeal. Now, all these traits which I have said constitutes to self-reliability and consciousness. Now, this conscience, consciousness, and self-reliability makes us different from all other animals. Okay, that's why they are staying in a crude jungle and we are staying in a society, and we have coined a beautiful term which is humanity. That means helping people. We have coined a beautiful term which is symbiosis. And with regards to these two terms, the civilization is on progress, I'm telling you. So, in order to understand dissociative identity disorder, we need to know what consciousness is. That's why I always go for introductory session. Always, I just want to set a premise when I am giving lecture. That point of time, I just want to establish the premise so that my lecture would be more elaborative, my lecture would be more pinpointed, as well as my lecture would be subjective. Fine. So, the basic fact, let me discuss in relation with dissociative identity disorder. It is actually underdiagnosed. Okay, it is underdiagnosed, and the psychologists are still researching about this typical psychological disorder. If I talk about India, then it is severely underdiagnosed. If I talk about European countries, it is underdiagnosed. Now, if I talk about United States of America, then 2% of the whole population are detected and diagnosed with this particular disease. Now, let me talk about this disease. Fine. Already, you have to understand the self identity and consciousness if you really want to have the realization of what is dissociative identity disorder. Now, let me tell you one thing, my connect. There is a subtle difference between an understanding and realization. Okay. Now, realization stems from perception, understanding stems from analytical skills. Okay. So now, here actually we have to realize. Today's topic is about realization. This is not about understanding, or this topic is not about understanding. Fine. So, dissociative identity disorder, let me tell you the symptoms. The first symptom, if you have the episode of dissociative identity disorder or DID, you'd be having a memory loss. And the second point would be you would be cut off from your bodily experience. Okay. And your emotions would be completely obliterated. So, three important symptoms I already have told you. Again, I am repeating. The first thing would be memory loss. The second thing would be you'd be out of your bodily experience. And the third point would be you would be obliterated out of your emotional index. Okay. And the fourth one, the most important one, would be you would be lagging, or you would be lacking self identity, or you would be lacking consciousness. Say for example, let me give you an example. Now, my name is Utsav De. I have the ability to lift up the dumbbell which weighs 10 kilo. Now, during that particular episode, all of a sudden I started lifting up the dumbbell weighing 30 kilos. That means what it concludes? It concludes that I am bereft of my self identity. So, the four main symptoms of this disease are memory loss, you can't have any body experience, okay, you would be detached from any type of emotion, and you would be lacking self identity or self realization. Now, you can ask me, sir, from where it stems? It actually stems from alienation. That's why I always tell everybody to mix up with the people. And now, because of the exposure, because all the people are having the exposure to social media, they can interact with the people. Just in order to interact with the people, you just interact. At least it is not going to create void in your cerebrum. But if you keep yourself alienated, then in the long run it has a detrimental effect. And the second one is child abuse. Okay, so this disease stems from child abuse. This disease stems from abandonment, which is alienation. So the researchers, they are researching explicitly and extensively about this disease, and we are having a ray of hope. They have done something which is out of this world, rather I must say which is out of this cosmos. So we can pray for them today, those who are the worst sufferer of dissociative identity disorder, and may God bless them. We hope that within a short span of time the human is going to invent certain medicine which will cure them. Thank you very much. Happy Holi to all of you. Thank you, my connects, which includes LinkedIn fraternity, my friends, my respected principals, last but not least, my students. Thank you very, very much.